everyone, and welcome to In the Classroom, the series of English language lessons that are presented by Highlands Community Charter School, the place that offers the wonderful opportunity for adults that are 22 years and older to learn their English as a second language, to obtain their high school diploma, and to learn a skill for absolutely no cost to you. My name is Oksana Reznik, and today our lesson is going to be about zero conditional. We're gonna learn how is it working, how do we implement that in our practice. Let's look at our funny picture. We have here a picture of the ice cream that melted, and here's the sentence. If ice cream gets warm, it melts. Or we could read it backwards. Ice cream melts if it gets warm. So this is the example of zero conditional, and let's start digging deeper. As I have mentioned before, conditional zero is used to talk about the facts or situations that are true. So zero conditional is basically a sentence that consists of two parts. It has a condition and a result. Condition part has always conjunction if or when plus the present simple form. And let's look at our sentence and find the condition. The sentence is, if it rains, everything gets wet. So the condition starts with the conjunction if or when. Therefore, our condition here is this part. If it rains, this is the condition. And where is the result? So the result follows the condition. And again, it consists of the present simple form. So in the following part, everything gets wet is our result. The interesting thing about the conditional zero sentences is that those two parts are divided by comma. So you would have to use comma after a condition. If it rains, comma, everything gets wet. So definitely this sentence talks about the true situation. This is true, of course. If it rains, definitely everything gets wet. Therefore, when you use conditional zero sentence, remember that it will describe the situation that is true. Let's move on, and we are going to look at a few more examples. The next example is, when you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, comma, it boils. Again, here is our condition. When you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius. How do I know that this is the condition? I know that just because we have when, and this is our conjunction. We have heat, present simple form. So when you have the conjunction, present simple form, you create the condition, and then it is followed by comma. And then the next part, we have the result. The result is it boils. Again, if you look at our verbs, heat and boils, those verbs indicate that we are using the present simple form. Once again, the situation is true. When you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, comma, it boils. And of course, it's true. The next example is, if I have enough time, comma, I watch TV. The same, we have our condition. If I have enough time, we put comma, and then we have our result. I watch TV. This situation is, of course, true, but it's going to be true for you. So it's not necessarily true for everybody. It might be just a true situation for you. Therefore, this is something you might utilize for yourself and explain and describe your situation with the help of the zero conditional. So if that's not working, let's say for your friend, that you won't use the same example, because Let's say if your friend has enough time, he plays basketball, for example. Therefore, it's not necessarily that he watches TV. This is something that is true for you. Let's move on. Let's practice questions and answers, because this is how we implement the zero conditional in our everyday situation. So let's look at our first example. What do you do when your fridge is empty? And again, the example of the zero conditional is do, when conjunction, and again we have is. So we have present simple forms and conjunction when. So again, what do you do when your fridge is empty? And the answer, when my fridge is empty, comma, I go shopping. So I have when, I have present simple, I put comma, and I use present simple. The next example. What do you do if there is little gas in your car? The answer, if there is little gas in my car, comma, I need to find a gas station. So the same, we use the conjunction if or when. We use present simple form. We put comma to create a condition, and then we follow with the result. I need to find a gas station. Need, again, is in the present simple form. Let's move on. Let's look at the next example. I get tired when I work too much. What have we noticed here? It sounds a little bit different. Well, the thing is that this is also zero conditional sentence, but we have flipped the parts. So we start with the result and then we continue with the condition. And you would ask me, is it according to the rules? Yes, of course it is. So you might start with the result and then continue with the condition. The only difference is that we don't have comma here anymore. I get tired is a result. And what is the condition? The condition is when I work too much. Again, this is a true situation for most people, maybe not for you, but of course it is for me, let's say. Let's move on. The same. I get late fees if I don't pay my bills on time. We did the same here. We flipped the parts. So we have started with the result. And the result is I get late fees. And what is the condition? The condition is if I don't pay my bills on time. This is, of course, a true situation as well for everybody. Let's see what else do we have here. I always get hungry if I don't eat breakfast. We start again with the result. I always get hungry. We use present simple form. And where is the condition? The condition is if I don't eat breakfast. By the way, pay attention to the condition. We use negative form here. It's a present simple negative form. Don't eat. Don't eat. Or you could say the sentence in a different form. You could say the sentence, if I don't eat breakfast, I always get hungry. So we could flip it backwards. The only thing, remember, if you start the sentence with the conjunction, with the condition, you have to put comma. If you start the sentence with the result, then you don't have to use comma. Again, we have questions and answers. What do you do if you have a fever? The answer, I go to bed and take some medicine if I have a fever. So we have started with the result. I go to bed and take some medicine, and we follow with the condition, if I have a fever. Where do you go when you need to cash your check? I go to a bank when I need to cash my check. The result, I go to a bank. And the condition, when? When I need to cash my check. What happens if you don't study for an exam? I fail an exam if I don't study for it. Again, the result, if I fail an exam, and the condition, when, if I don't study for it. And here we have a dialogue between a mother and a son. And this dialogue is a good explanation of how do we use our zero conditional in a regular everyday situation or a dialogue. So let's read this dialogue. So mother starts, "Good morning, I just made coffee. Would you like some breakfast?" The son replies, "Thanks, Mom. I'll just have coffee. I have my final exam today for math." Mother, "Oh, don't wear that red shirt if you have an exam. When people see red before a test, they get lower scores." Son, "Seriously?" Mother, "Yes, there was a research about it. In the research study, everyone got the same test, but the test booklet had 3 different covers. The people with the red covers got lower scores." Son, "Wow, I wonder why." Mother, "We use red when we want to show danger, right? Teachers use it when they grade papers. Maybe red makes us nervous." Son, "Yeah, but I'm in a hurry. If I change my shirt, I'll miss my bus. Therefore, I'll try to concentrate on my test rather than on my shirt." Mother, "Good luck, son." So if you look at this dialogue, it's a long one. But if you look at the phrases and words that are highlighted in green color, you will notice how we are using our conditional zero. Mother says, "Don't wear that red shirt if you have an exam." So she's starting with the result, and then she continues with the condition. Don't wear, present simple, if you have an exam. If and have. And again, she says, when people see red before a test, they get lower scores. She starts with the condition. When, see, conjunction in present simple, comma, they get, present simple. One more example. We use red when we want to show danger. So we have present simple, we have the result, and we have when we want to show danger. When we want, present simple. Make sure all the verbs are used in the present simple form, and that's a true situation. And again, we have teachers use it when they grade papers. Again, we have the result, use, and the condition, when they grade. By the way, the word grade is used here as a verb. So that's a very vivid example of how we are using our conditional zero in the everyday speech, in a dialogue, in a question and answer format. So hopefully this lesson was helpful for you and you learned about the zero conditional. We would be very grateful if you could hit the like button and share and put some comment under this video. And please, if you're interested in getting more information about our English lessons, comment underneath with what kind of lessons you are looking forward in the future. And we're gonna see you soon. Bye-bye.